Five Nights at Freddy's is a popular indie game franchise created by the man, the myth, the legend, Scott Cawthon. And throughout the years, well, let's just say that this little series is a bit controversial. I've decided to take a look back at every single Five Nights at Freddy's game from the release date in 2014 to the latest release in 2021. This is to try and figure out the question if the game deserves all the hate that it gets nowadays or not. But first, do you hate not having a dad? Do you just wish that your dad could come back? Well, sadly, I can't do that, but what I can do is invite you to a great Discord server on Discord of all things. So, you know, look in the damn link in the description. It'll be the first link. Click it or you'll die. Anyways, now off to Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So after replaying Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and for a while I couldn't really make up my mind, but after a while of thinking I was able to get my final thoughts on it. In terms of presentation, this game is stellar, but maybe the graphics have aged a bit, but hey, it was 2014 made by one guy. You need to give him a break. Maybe not give him a break for some of the other things he did, but for this, yes. Also, can we please talk about how great the original character designs for the original 4 characters are? Freddy has a really good rip-off Chuck E. Cheese design. The top hat and bow tie show that the restaurant has clearly been open since the 1950s, like the game depicts. And of course, all the other characters have such eerie designs, but clearly look like they could be used as children's entertainment, while still looking creepy as all of hell. The models were done really well as well. Definitely some of the best model work in the series. This game is all about conserving your power. You are given 100% your power bar. However, when you use your camera, close the door, or open your door, or use your door light, you use power, right? And once you lose your power, you know.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I want to die. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh no! 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 No!
Five Nights at Freddy's 1 definitely needs some work, but for being made an underpowered engine by one person, it's easy to look past that. Mr. Scott Cawthon had a huge success on his hands, so obviously his first decision was to make a sequel. It's not like a criticism, that's like an actual smart move. So then Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came in development.
She is such a bad bitch, though. I this shit out of that robot, man. I'm not even...
FNAF 2 takes all of FNAF 1's mechanics and puts them to the max, while also adding many new mechanics. Which is a complete understatement. This game improves on everything from the original. One of the main selling points for this game, besides the fact that it being Five Nights at Freddy's 2, was the removal of doors, so every popular gaming YouTuber said, "It's me, Markiplier. Oh no, not the doors. How am I going to protect myself from the scary animatronics?" When really they just added new, arguably better gameplay features, such as the masks, so when the animatronics walk into your office, you slap it on after a couple of seconds and it walks away. Speaking of the animatronics, I believe the new edition of the toy animatronics might be a little bit too cute for me to actually be scared of. I can't recall any time I've actually ever felt unnerved while playing this game with the toy animatronics, but I've never really felt unnerved by any of these games. This game also introduces the withered animatronics, which have my favorite designs of the 4 main characters in the series. They all actually feel unnerving and in disrepair. Boy, having scary designs really continued as the series went on, didn't it? Some new things this game introduced was an actual reason to keep an eye on the cameras. The first game had something like this while checking on Pirate's Cove and Foxy every little bit, but FNAF 2 does this much better with the puppet, or marionette, I would rather call them the puppet, though, and having to wind up the music box so the puppet doesn't come out and attack you. One other new feature they added was Withered Foxy, who isn't affected by the mask, so to take him out you have to shine your flashlight at him when he appears in the hallway. I think this is a pretty neat way to make it so you can't just keep on the mask and take it off to wind up the music box, you know, so the game isn't exploitable. Now, in terms of making you scared, this game stresses you out more than the latter, but when this game stresses you out, it really stresses you out. Who would have known having so many animatronics would stress you out? I kid, I know it's on purpose, but I believe Scott executed in the best way he could have, using what he had. So, yup, this series is showing that there's a lot of true merit, and I think everyone was excited to see what could be next for the series, and see how Scott could conclude the lore. Yeah, I've purposely chosen not to touch on the lore at all here, but, yeah, just know that it exists, and it was supposed to end in the next game. You know how that ended. If you would like to know what actually happens in these games, I will link a video by user Hyperdroid that has a pretty good retelling in the description. Now let's see how Scott can complete the lore.
You see, the joke is that the lore was never completed, and Scott will never stop. Never, ever. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. He's been waiting, abandoning patience. So
I am here to Five Nights at Freddy's 3 launch. I think the Virgins finally chose abstinence as a logical option. As it appears my boss is forcing me to go inside or else I won't be able to feed my family this week. Damn, the Virgins really took over. Yeah, that makes sense. Not a lot of people liked FNAF 3, and while I don't think that the game was the best in the series so far, I do think that most of the hate was due to high expectations. I feel like that was pretty much a given for this game because so many people had super high expectations, and when the game didn't fulfill every single thing, nobody liked it. This game takes place in a location called Fazbear's Fright, which takes place in the future. Now, you'd think with having a horror-themed setting, Scott would really go out with the character designs. While I wouldn't say that these character designs aren't scary, I feel like much more could have been done. However, where this game really shines is the character Springtrap, which is probably the best model in the series. Springtrap is the corpse of William Afton inside of one of his creations. I don't know how he's still alive. They never really explain it, but whatever, it's kind of cool. In terms of gameplay, this game has only one person who can kill you, that being Springtrap. The rest can only frighten you / give you panic attacks, I don't really know. You need to lure Springtrap away from your office by using audio cues, but when you use audio cues, or whatever you have to use to lure Springtrap away, the phantom animatronics are to come. And when they come, then basically you can't do anything, so then Springtrap will come and kill you. Now you might think only having one person that can kill you with pretty simple gameplay would make this game easy. You are dead wrong in that. This game is really challenging. Now personally, I think this game is pretty fun, but the people at the time, no, they hated this game. They were mad that the lore didn't end how they wanted it to. They were mad that it didn't just have everything. They were mad it didn't give you a kiss goodnight. Nowadays, this game has a lot better reception because people have calmed down, and this is supposed to be the finale to the series. Well, it wasn't. It really wasn't. Yeah, so if I just open this door for no apparent reason. What the f? Five Nights at Freddy's 4, my favorite one in the series. Yeah, Big Scott Big, decided that he was not, and I quote, was not flattered with the jump scare in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, so he made another game supposed to be a prequel to every single other game in the series to show why William Afton became evil or something, I don't know. This game uses sound as part of its gameplay, so when you hear breathing outside that door, you gotta shut that and you gotta wait till the lights flicker. And if you don't, well... Yeah, I kinda thought with what Scott said about Five Nights at Freddy's 3 jump scares that he'd really improve the jump scares. I don't know. They're kinda too slow to actually be scared of. However, most of the time in this game, the jump scares are really unexpected, so they can actually scare you. Pretty much a first for this series. This game also has ambient noises with like dogs barking and children laughing and small breathing. So whenever you have a door open, you always have to second guess yourself if the animatronic is there or not. Which I think is a pretty good way to always keep the player on their toes and always make them scared whenever they get jump scared. This game also gave us the funniest Markiplier meme of all time. I died laughing.
Hey guys, I think the little man said he wants to give Fredbear a big kiss. On 3, 1, 2. Was that the bite of 87?
So that concludes the 5 Nights at Freddy's series. Kinda sad that it ended, but hey, I'm glad that it ended on a high note. Oh, come on! This was when most of the community decided to head out, but nope, for me it was, I ate this all up. I ate it up. And after replaying it, there's no funny quip. I am asking for help. I genuinely need help. Please send help. Please, I beg of you. Please. Yeah, I don't know why I liked this one so much when I was younger. Due to the poor reception by fans, Scott decided to take down the game from all stores available and then completely redo it. I just don't see how making the Overworld 3D made the game any better. I think this game was flawed from conception, just a cutesy RPG about child murdering robots. I don't think that works. Although this game has a really good soundtrack. So, yep, that's the end of the 5 Nights at Freddy series. Oh, they made another. I promise to not make that joke again. So you'd think with this game adding all these new characters in a different location, that it would follow a different lore. Nope, it follows the same lore. Yeah, spoiler alert, I don't really like this one. While this game does switch up the normal 5 Nights at Freddy's gameplay formula, it's still boring. It's just walk forward, walk backwards, stop, go, over and over again. While this game seems like it would be a lot more fun than any other 5 Nights at Freddy's game, it's not executed well at all, and it gets really boring, because again, it's still made in Click Team Fusion. Meaning all these new things you have to do are still made in the most simple way possible, and a lot of it is still just pointing and clicking. There isn't too much of a difference, no matter how much you'll say that there is. And while I do think that the idea of having a new mission every single night is a pretty good idea, these are still boring. I don't have fun while playing these. And this game has the worst memes to ever come out of a 5 Nights at Freddy's game. If not game in general. Please explain to me why I'm supposed to find this audibly funny. It's not funny! Number one, there's not enough sexism. We all know that the only way to be funny is to proclaim how much you hate a certain gender. Number two, where's the Arabic text? We all know that the only way to get me to laugh is to have a ton of ununderstandable Arabic text. Why do we laugh at that, you might ask? Because we all know that people only know Arabia, however you say it, because of all this stuff that goes on there. The bootleg cartoons, not the other stuff. Totally. Also, why is there so much merch of this thing? Holy crap! This game also does have the best Ultimate Custom Night by far. If you're gonna play this game, please play that. Well, I wouldn't go as far as to say this is a bad entry in the franchise. I do think it's definitely one of the weaker ones and needs some polishing. And while researching for this video, I found a VR port of it, and I had a lot of fun playing it. Let me know if you would like to see me play that in a future video. Anyway, now after 5 Nights at Freddy's 6 or Pizza Simulator, you know, if you're weird.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth. If you still even remember that name. Dip. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume.
Peter, it's 4 in the morning. Come to bed.
FNAF 6, in my opinion, was the last entry in the classic 5 Nights at Freddy's era. I also think this is the start of a new era of FNAF. This game also has two methods of gameplay, one being the same song and dance as the others, with a small twist. That being, instead of having to survive until 6 a.m., you have to survive while doing tasks such as order plates, order napkins, order utensils, order pizza kits. But instead of doing some quick time events or something, you just have to wait a couple seconds, so it's pretty much just surviving till the end of a time limit. You also have to watch out for how much noise you make, or else
insert big-headed cartoon character
William Afton will jump at you. To combat this, you can turn off the fan, but then you can't do your task, but it makes the animatronics go away. Oh yeah, new animatronics. Hold on, I have to cover the other game mode. I'll talk about that in a minute. The second half of this game is why the title is... Instead of piss,
see at Pisshead's number Piss 6. Every time you pass a night, you get to deck out your pizzeria. Hence the name. I had a lot of fun trying to make as much money as I can, but sadly, once you finish night 5 and you can't edit your pizzeria anymore. Oh no, I was totally gonna mess with this once I beat the game. Totally. But before you get to edit your pizzeria, you have to decide either to scrap or salvage the new animatronic that comes into your office. Scrapping them gets rid of the danger, but you make no money, and salvaging them gets you a lot of money, but they're let loose in the pizzeria, making the night shifts harder. Oh, the characters! The characters in this game are all banged up versions of the most integral characters in the lore. Yeah, this game was going to end the lore in the series for real this time, and I'll commend Scott. He kinda did it. But in terms of characters, I would say they all have an eerie feeling to them, but this game is taken as a joke because Scott, for some reason, redesigned the most perfect horror animatronic design ever to make it look like...
Insert big-headed cartoon character.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to find this guy scary. Yeah, some of the corpse of an old dead guy was killed in his own mascot costume because kids were seeking revenge on him, and he got out of the costume, and we got a worse looking, whatever, I don't know. Do you see why I decided not to cover the lore? However, this game ends with one of my favorite endings in gaming history. I don't think words can explain how truly great this ending is, so I'll just show the clip.
And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend.
So this is truly the end of an era for the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, but Scott had one more game up his belt as an ultimate finale.
Believe it or not, I never really got into Ultimate Custom Night. It's one of those games that I respect more than I actually like. Whenever I do play this game, it's usually me challenging my reflexes, which... I don't know, I'm okay at. Many people, including myself, tried doing the 50-20 mode challenge where every single character has their AI set to the max, and personally, after trying it myself, I don't see the appeal. When to make it easier, you have to put a keyboard with just the keys L and O under your desk, you know you've really hit rock bottom. No offense, Dawko, love you. But after a little bit, this game feels a little bit bland and repetitive, but, you know, it's for some people, and I don't think this game was really made for me. Oh yeah, also to tie this game in with the lore, they made this William Afton's personal hell, which I honestly really like. But sadly, all good things must come to an end, and this is Scott Cawthon's last FNAF game that he ever developed. And soon after, the next Five Nights at Freddy's title, made by Steel Wool, came in development.
I didn't find a coin, so I don't even know if there was a coin to have there. I was a bit preoccupied with stuff and things.
I'm just gonna say it, this is probably my favorite entry in these games. Just the fact that a game like Five Nights at Freddy's is pretty much made for VR, and them making challenges and mini games as well, makes this the final nail in the coffin for being the best Five Nights at Freddy's game ever. What this game is a remake of the first 3 games, so mini games based off FNAF 4 called Night Terrors, mini games where you have to operate in the 4 main animatronics called Parts and Service, a mini game where you have to repair a vent that I totally didn't become a scaredy cat when I saw it entered, and lastly flashlight games based on FNAF 4 in VR. This is a really meaty game, so you can really replay it 1,000 times and never get bored. Also, soon after this game was released, they came out with some Halloween DLC, so for only $10 more, you get a ton more extra mini games. This game is no joke, one of the most packed games ever seen, and that's a good thing. There isn't much else to say, other than the fact that this is a really fun game and that you should try it right now, so here's some funny clips. Yeah. I gotta say funny things. Danger. It's kind of neat. It says healthy. Alright, yeah, there you are, so. Got you. Okay. I hear clanking. Okay, nobody's there. Alright, we're good, we're good. I'll wind you up. Oh, I don't like how they move. Okay. So you can just see the stress that this brings me. Where? I can see the blinking and I can hear the sound. Ah! Okay. 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 Hi. Okay. Yeah, I knew you were gonna be there. Okay. I heard the clanking there, so I think that's how it works. Anyway, some funny Markiplier clips. It's like, you know, making out with like. Fun fact: these are children. Just, you know, Markiplier making out with children. Who would have known? That was a joke. Don't sue me. Hi. All right. 6 a.m. Alright, well, we almost did it, so... So, yep, that was the first game made by Steel Wool. Ayo, Scott the Woz and Five Nights at Freddy's?
What is that? Oh, that. I like 15-year-old girls!
So I thought about it and I realized that Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is probably worthy of its own video, which is how discussable this game is, for lack of a better term. But in short, while I do think that this game is really overhated, it definitely has a lot of problems. And hey, there's some DLC coming out soon, so maybe we get to cover that in the next video. Anyway, invest in cream soda. Kill me.